generous support of the Sheboygan business community. A special welcome to those of you who might be visitors to the city of Sheboygan this evening. Also, a big thank you to WSCS TV for broadcasting this on cable TV. Welcome those who might be viewing it at home. My name is Mary Schiller. I'll be introducing our pieces this evening. And as we begin, I'd like to introduce to you several key members of our organization. First, the president of the Sheboygan Pops Concert Band, and she plays in the clarinet section, Ronnie Anderson. Ronnie. We have an associate conductor. He plays in our French horn section, Mr. Alan Bruce. Al. And then, of course, our director, Mr. Neil Monkey. Neil. So as we begin our concert tonight, I ask that you please stand and join in the singing of our national anthem. We have a wide variety of music to play for you tonight, and we'd like to begin with a concert march medley of traditional Scottish airs. It's written by Captain Jimmy Howe, who was the director of music for the Royal Scots Guard. It's entitled Pentland Hills. We're going to move from Scotland to Spain for our next number. It definitely has a Spanish flair. It's entitled Hispana Cani. And despite the fact that it's Spanish, it was actually arranged by somebody from the Midwest, a gentleman by the name of Robert Longfield. He was born and raised in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And we present his Hispana Cani. Our next selection is a composition that was written by a current American composer, arranger, and teacher by the name of Robert W. Smith. He actually works as the coordinator of the music industry program at Troy University in Troy, Alabama. And his teaching responsibilities focus on music composition, production, and publishing. And that's something he's very familiar with because he himself is very prolific. He has over 700 publications in print, and the majority of them are arranged through his long association with Warner Brothers Productions. This particular piece was commissioned by Captain N. Allen Clark and the band of the U.S. Air Force Reserve in celebration of the 50th anniversary of the band of the U.S. Air Force Reserve at Warner's Robins Air Force Base in Georgia. It's entitled On Eagle's Wings, and the subtitle is Our Citizen Airmen. Make sure you listen carefully for a very demanding flute solo that's going to be played this evening by Vicki Rhodes. So, On Eagle's Wings. I see a lot of regulars in our audience tonight, and for those of you who try to follow the Sheboygan Pops Concert Band, I'd like to let you know about our next two engagements. A week from tonight, next Wednesday, we're actually doing a concert in Michigan. We're going to be on the road, traveling. So that is a 6:30 p.m. concert, and it will take place rain or shine. If it's nice out, it'll be outside of the Michigan High School, and if there's rain, it'll be held indoors. So either way, we play in Michigan next Wednesday night. And then the following Wednesday, July 27th, you'll want to be back here at Fountain Park because it's going to be a lot of fun, especially for those of you who like to dance. We're going to be celebrating Oktoberfest in July. So we're going to have a dance floor set up. We will be playing 7 different German marches, some waltzes, polkas for you. So you want to make sure and bring your dancing shoes and your lederhosen and whatever. July 27th here at Fountain Park. Our next number, if I mention names like Maid Marian, Friar Tuck, Little John, the Sheriff of Nottingham, Prince John, what should come to mind is obviously Robin Hood. Many people are familiar with that English folklore. Most of us, I think, probably in my generation anyways, are familiar with Robin Hood because of the 1973 Disney animated film. There are many great songs from that film, and we have a number to play for you now that's entitled The Robin Hood Soundtrack Highlights. It was written by Michael Kamen and arranged by Jay Bocook. So please enjoy Robin Hood Soundtrack Highlights. John Philip Sousa is known as a composer, an arranger, a conductor, a businessman, and a patriot. But of all his accomplishments, he's probably best known for composing his marches. Because of that, he became known as the March King, and we have one of his marches, the Black Horse Troop, to play for you now. This particular march was written in 1925, and Sousa lived from 1854 to 1932, so this obviously was written in the last decade of his life. And as the title alludes to, this piece highlights Sousa's love of horses. And some people might actually find this kind of ironic because Sousa in 1921, he fell from a horse and he had a permanent arm injury. And despite that, he wrote the Black Horse Troop. It was premiered by Sousa and his band in Cleveland in 1925. And at that premiere, they actually had black horses on the stage with them. We're kind of tight for space tonight, so we decided to leave the horses out. But please enjoy John Philip Sousa's Black Horse Troop. If I mention the word Hollywood, you probably think of the district of the city of Los Angeles in California that's situated northwest of downtown. And due to its certainly fame and its identity as a historical center of movie studios and stars, the word Hollywood is often used as a synonym for the American film and television industry. We have a tribute to that very place, Hollywood, to present for you now. It's arranged by Warren Barker, and it's actually a medley of excerpts of the following tunes: Terrace Theme, 42nd Street, Born Free, Merrily We Roll Along, The High and Mighty, Theme from a Summer Place, Swanee, Days of Wine and Roses, the theme from Lawrence of Arabia, As Time Goes By, and Hooray for Hollywood. Those of you who regularly attend our concerts know that we introduce you to the members of the band. It's always kind of fun to see what people do in their day jobs. And we introduced you to everybody last summer. So tonight I would just like to introduce to you the new members of the band. So this is the first summer that they're playing with us. And we have 5 different people who have joined us. The first, Heather Casterline. Heather, please stand. Heather plays in our French horn section, and she's played the instrument for 10 years. She actually lives in Sheboygan now, but she hails from Oconomowoc, and we're very fortunate that she's here with us this summer. Heather's actually a mechanical engineering student at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and she's doing an engineering co-op at the Kohler Company this summer. So we're glad to have her with us. I mean, she certainly has experience. She's played with the symphony at UW. So welcome, Heather. We're really glad to have you. And also in the French horn section, we have Sherry Crosley. Sherry, please stand. Sherry's played the French horn since she was in the 6th grade. She lives here in the city of Sheboygan, and for her occupation, she works as a technical writer for Kohler Power Systems. So that's Sherry. Back in the trombone section, there is one lone female back there, and that's Lexi Kerr. So Lexi, please stand. Lexi's playing the trombone tonight, but she also plays the baritone and the French horn. She's played for 6 years. Lexi lives here in Sheboygan, and she is currently a junior at Sheboygan South High School. So that's Lexi. Back in the saxophone section, we have Amanda Dumovich. We welcome Amanda. She's played since she was 9 years old. In addition to playing the saxophone, she also plays the piano and she sings. She actually has a musical degree. She has a Bachelor of Arts in Music. She lives here in Sheboygan, and she currently works as a cashier at Menards, and then she's also self-employed teaching private music lessons. So that's Amanda. And then back in our percussion section, we have Matt Sewell. Matt, just wave so everybody knows who you are. Okay. Matt has played percussion instruments for 16 years. He also plays the guitar and the bass. He lives here in Sheboygan, and he works as an electrician for Faith Technologies. So that's Matt. So perhaps there's some of you out in the audience who have musical talent and want to join us too. We're always welcoming new people to join our group. We practice year-round, every Tuesday night, 7 p.m., Sheboygan South High School. So please come up and talk to Neil or Al after the concert if you want to give it a try. It's really a fun thing to do. Okay, I think we're ready for another march. We've played a couple of them tonight, and this one's a little different because it's a Mexican march. It's entitled Zacatecas, and it's actually a city in Mexico, and it's where the composer, a gentleman by the name of Codina, was born and died. Little's actually known about this gentleman's early life, but he did play several instruments, and it's been said that the harp was actually his primary instrument. And so this particular march was composed at the time that Codina was employed as the accountant for the city of Zacatecas, and it was dedicated to the man who was then the president of Mexico. The Sheboygan Pops Concert Band is a member of an organization called SPA. SPA stands for the Sheboygan Performing Arts Group. And I'm sure that there's many music lovers in our audience tonight who have attended concerts of other SPA members, and one of those is the Sheboygan Concert Association. And earlier this year, they brought the incredible Canadian brass here to Sheboygan to perform at the Stephanie Weil Center. Let's see a show of hands. Who heard them? Okay, a couple people in our audience. Good. The number that we're going to play for you now is entitled Red, White, and Brass, and it's a medley of American music originally arranged for the Canadian brass. Heard in this medley will be American Patrol, You're a Grand Old Flag, Yankee Doodle Boy, Simple Gifts, Home on the Range, and Stars and Stripes Forever. Red, White, and Brass. Alley Cat is a popular instrumental song made most famous by actually a Danish pianist and composer who wrote the tune under the pseudonym of Frank Bjorn. 1962 was the year it was released, and it did win a Grammy Award for Best Rock and Roll Recording during the 5th Grammy Awards. It sold over 1 million copies and was awarded a gold disc. This particular arrangement of Alley Cat is by Bill Miller. I don't think any concert in Sheboygan would be complete without a polka, so here's our nightly polka. We're really glad that we didn't have to pull the same one out as a previous concert this summer when we played the Rain Rain polka. But tonight, this one certainly is appropriate because we have a few of these in Sheboygan. It's called the Village Tavern Polka. Anchors Away, which of course is the song of the Navy, is the next piece we're going to perform for you this evening. The word way comes from the archaic word meaning to heave or hoist or raise. So away means that this action has been completed. The anchor is away when it's pulled from the bottom. And they record this event in the ship's log. The music for Anchors Away was composed by Lieutenant Charles A. Zimmerman, and the march was played by the Naval Academy Band for the first time at the Army-Navy football game in November of 1906. And for the first time in several seasons, the Navy actually won. And the march subsequently was dedicated to the Academy class of 1907 and adopted as the official song of the U.S. Navy. Anchors Away. we have any men or women in our audience who served in the U.S. Navy? If so, please stand. Come on. A round of applause for you. Thank you for your service. And Steve in the back there. And, oh, two people in the back. Great. Our next number is a Spanish number, Fantasia on Lady of Spain. It's by Tolchard Evans, and this particular arrangement is by Donald Hunsberger. So we present Lady of Spain. So for all the fans in our audience that like swing music, we have one for you now, entitled Swing's the Thing. It's a Warren Barker arrangement, and it features some tunes that I think you'll know. Night Train, I've heard that song before, and Don't Get Around Much Anymore. This particular arrangement by Warren Barker was dedicated to the Coastal Communities Concert Band, which is in San Diego, California. Swing's the Thing. The trumpet solo in that number was played by Mr. Bill Hughes. Bill, please stand. And leading the percussion section on the drum set, Mr. Corey Monkey. Corey. So this brings us to the end of our concert this evening. On behalf of the Sheboygan Pops Concert Band, thank you very much for joining us here at Fountain Park. Perhaps you'll join us next week in Michigan or the following week back here at Fountain Park again. We are going to end this evening with our traditional closer, which is a medley that begins with America the Beautiful, and then it leads into the Stars and Stripes Forever. And I think some of you certainly know the song or the story behind John Philip Sousa composing this march, but if not, I'll refresh your memory. It was 1896, and Sousa was actually in Italy, and he received a cable saying that his manager, David Blakely, had died. And in his autobiography, which is entitled Marching Along, Sousa actually states, and I quote, "Aboard the Teutonic, as it steamed out of the harbor on my return from Europe, came one of the most vivid incidents of my career. As I paced the deck, absorbed in thought, suddenly I began to sense the rhythmic beat of a band playing within my brain. It kept on ceaselessly playing, playing, playing. Throughout the whole tense voyage, that imaginary band continued to unfold the same themes, echoing and re-echoing the most distinct melody. I did not transfer a note of that music to paper while I was on the steamer, but when we reached the shore, I set down the measures that my brain band had been playing for me, and not a note of it has ever changed." The composition obviously was the Stars and Stripes Forever, and is probably John Philip Sousa's most popular march. So we'll close with this. Playing the piccolo solos in this number tonight will be Vicki Rhodes and Linda Erdman. Thanks again for joining us.